Shalom Chaverim. We're back today with another list video. We hope that you enjoyed our last one, which was 5 things to do with your quarantine time. Here we're going to put a little twist on it, and we're doing 5 things, not this time to do during your quarantine time, but 5 things that you shouldn't do during your quarantine time. Hope you enjoy it, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Number 1, don't give up hope. Now, perhaps that's obvious, but in this time when we're going through so many changes and so much confusion, it can sometimes be quite depressing. And if you're at home on your own, or even if you're at home with family, if you're not going out much and getting fresh air, things can become quite disturbing and quite worrying. So don't give up hope. There will be an end to this corona time. Now, of course, we don't know how long it's going to go on for, but one day it will end, and one day we will again be allowed to go outside on the streets, we'll be allowed to socialize, and we'll be allowed to do our favorite activities. So don't give up hope. And above all, don't give up hope because of God. God is our hope, and He's our source of hope. And if He's your source of hope, then you know that no matter what happens, you will be safe because you'll be with Him. So be encouraged. This is going to come to an end one day. Number 2. Don't stay inside the whole time. Now, we don't want to go contrary to what your government is telling you, so please don't misunderstand us. But in most countries, there is still some availability for us to actually leave our houses, or maybe if we have a balcony, to go out on the balcony. Please do this. This is so good for us to get fresh air, to breathe in the fresh air, to get sun, and to spend some time outside. It'll do you the world of good. And you know what they say? Healthy body, healthy mind. So, and it works the other way around as well. If you have a healthy mind and a healthy spirit, then it also helps with the body. So don't stay inside with cabin fever and depression and worrying. Make sure you take some good regular walks, of course, in accordance with the law and with the government prescriptions for this. But make sure you do spend some time outside. Don't just spend it inside the whole time. Number 3, don't waste your time. This time that's been given to us during the corona quarantine time is an unprecedented time that we've had in our lives to just do something different. Now, there's some of us, of course, who still have to work, who are still working and doing things, but even that work is done in a different way. But if you're at home and you find yourself with a whole bunch of extra time, don't waste it. Don't just binge watch Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that. Use the time wisely. We might never get a time like this again in our lifetime. And isn't it amazing to be given the gift of time? So think about how you can use your time. And of course, if you want our input, then have a look at our last list video where we gave you 5 things that you can do with your quarantine time. But whatever you do, don't just waste it on entertaining yourself. There is more to life that you can do in this time. Number 4. Don't ignore your family members. Now, maybe this one again is kind of obvious, but after a while of being in lockdown and being at home, sometimes those family members of ours can get a little bit annoying, maybe get on our nerves. Now, of course, if you're single, you're probably crying out for company. But if you do have family members, you're at home with your family members, don't ignore them after a while. The tendency is that everyone goes to his or her corner of the house or the apartment with their device and spends time entertaining themselves, playing video games or whatever. Let's spend our time together. This is a great time for us as families to bond, to work through the difficult relationships that we might have in our family, the times when we fight with each other. This is great for us to learn to grow in love for each other. So don't take the easy way out. Don't avoid your family. Spend time with them, encourage them, and hopefully you'll have stronger relationships at the end of the corona time as a result. Number 5, don't take the situation lightly. Now, depending on your mentality here, you might be prone either to panicking about this difficult situation, or you might go to the opposite extreme. Maybe you take things lightly and you think, why are we even having to do this? I'm young, I'm not going to get corona, and even if I do get it, it's not a big problem. So why can't I just go out and meet my friends as normal and ignore all of the government advice? So we at Jews for Jesus don't think this is a good idea. And the reason why is because this is a serious threat. Maybe not for your life, but for the lives of other people. And it's a really good time for you to prepare yourself for something that might one day affect you in the future. Now, in the last 10 years or 20 years or so, we've seen a number of different deadly viruses going around. SARS, Ebola, just to name 2. So there's a high likelihood that one day we'll be faced with something greater than the threat of COVID-19. Like, for example, the Spanish flu that hit after the First World War. So now is a good time to not just take it lightly and shake it off and say, oh, well, it doesn't affect me, I'm not bothered about it. Why not take the time to think, okay, even if it doesn't affect me directly with getting sick, how is it affecting me otherwise, mentally or with services being closed down that I can't use? And prepare yourself for a day coming when you might be a generation or two older, and you might be directly influenced by a future virus, or maybe it's something that affects even younger people at that time. So don't waste your time dismissing this as unimportant. Take it seriously and think about what you could learn for the future. So friends, those were our 5 top things that we think that you shouldn't do during this time of lockdown and corona. But what do you think? What are 5 things that you think that we as humanity, as people, should not do during this time? Write us below in the comments section. We would love to hear from you. And if you disagree with anything that we say, put those comments as well, because we want to enter into a good discussion with you. We've got one more list video coming up for you, so stay tuned for that. Stay safe, stay healthy, and from us at Jews for Jesus, Shalom.